You're retired at 39, but people would see you're very busy.
Yeah.
So why are you still busy if you're retired?
I guess it depends on your definition of what retirement is and what do you envision yourself doing. Some people, if you ask someone who is actively working now and you ask how would you define retirement how do you envision retirement, they would say, I would be sitting by the pool or by the beach drinking a margarita or a piña colada on a cruise ship or watching Netflix all day doing a marathon.
Oh my goodness.
But that's more of a holiday. What they're describing is a holiday.
I like your definition.
For me, I went through all of those things in my past, and I don't want others to go through the same mistakes, because if you benefit from my mistakes, from my experiences, then you bypass that and then you can go beyond me. So if I am able to pass it on to the next generation of investors, then over time, tapos sila, if they pass it on to the next generation as well, over time, then we have a fleet of a crew of people who are all financially savvy. And if mother country, the Philippines, diba, every year there are 100 storms in the Philippines. Some of them are really super storms.
Yeah.
Then if there is someone that needs help back home, kahit na, you don't need to go to, social media and showcase na, we are helping these people.
Yeah.
No, you help in your own little way, be it your relatives, or you just send money, or you go there and volunteer. Then we are in a position to be of service.
Yeah.
And what is higher purpose than that? Di malakas pa naman ako, I have the time. Di help in any way you can.
Wow.
That's why I'm so busy.
And that's why you're going to the Philippines in the next few months.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to my volunteering job.
Nice.
Wow. For how long?
Yeah.
Between 2 and 3 months.
Nice.
I'm just gonna say, like, that's why one of the benefits of a retiree, you can do philanthropies or volunteering without needing of finding where to get money.
Yeah. You're not a slave to your alarm clock.
Yeah, exactly. Describe that feeling. No, you don't need to worry about the weekend. Oh, it's over. I gotta work the next day.
Oh yeah. So there was there are days when I would ask Victor, what day is it? Because I don't keep track anymore. I know who I am seeing on which days, or who am I speaking with, but the concept of weekend becomes abstract. The best thing about it is whatever you want to do, you have the means to do it. You have the time to do it. You're limited by what you set, the limitations that you set up on yourself. Like okay, let's summarize my year. The first 3 months I was still busy here in Melbourne. March to June I was in Sydney. I was babysitting my little goddaughters. And I was also meeting up with people there. I came back for a bit here, then we went to Europe for 3 months. Now I'm back for a month here, a month in Sydney, because we have a cruise. And I'm going to the Philippines.
Before the end of the year.
that's my year.
You wanna hear about us?
So I don't know how I can incorporate an employment position.
All right,
You're
yeah.
already busy, even just with that.
Yeah, but I'm busy with things that I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's one thing, like whenever they ask us, like, why do you want to be financially free? And always we always say, like, it's to have that option, to have that choice of doing what we love to do rather than
They don't trade time for money.
That's right.
Yeah. Some people would go back to doing that if they might go back to nursing, but because they enjoy it, it's by choice.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
No. And I think and a good test is for example, you are called in for overtime and you're not forced and you're choosing to go there. diba? It's the same job, pero you don't drag your feet going to work. Whereas your colleague would be, I'm so tired today, blah, blah, blah. Whereas
No motivation.
you're very perky, you're very happy kasi you chose to be there. So it's the same job, it's the same rules, it's the same ward,
Yeah.
but the perception is different,
Yes.
the perspective
Different
is
mindset.
different. So why can't that be every day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Soon, my friend.
Can I step back a bit? I want to ask this question. So, you've done this, you've been to hardship. Do I have to be well off, or you're ready, but before, when you started with 4 or 5, do you have to be like earning really big to do that?
So the 4th property I was still buying it on my own. The 5th onwards was with my partner Victor.
Yeah.
It helped that he was earning big money. He was working as an engineer, but I think serviceability is not calculated based on how high your income is, but how well you manage your money.
Manage,
So
yes. Yeah.
now, for example, if let's say you earn 300,000 a year as a couple, but you bought an investment property for $1 million.
Oh.
How many of those can you buy before the bank says no? Because your out of pocket is super high. So your serviceability will be hit after maybe the second or 1.5.
Yeah.
So is that a good strategy? No. But if you buy, the
Gem.
lower middle, so let's say 500, 550, your rental return is enough to rental return plus plus tax return is enough to cover the interest of that property, or maybe you're out of pocket by $50 or $100. Now, how many of that can you afford?
Yeah, correct.
So it's about strategy, not so much high income, because high income,
It's relative.
yes, well, it's not what you earn but what you keep,
Correct. Yeah.
and that's how the bank sees it as well.
Yeah.
So the bank's perspective is very important because they're the ones lending you 90% or 80% of
Yeah.
it. So
Definitely.
you're silly not to think of how they would perceive you. So no, I don't think the answer is the high income. It's the discipline. It's
I like it.
it's the strategy, and it's the you don't be emotional when it comes to your investment purchases.
Yes. Yeah.
And who do you have in your team when you were purchasing this house?
Well, that
Other than the
changed.
books that you read.
That changed over the years. As you become more learned, you realize that
It's
some
getting-
people are not really the best
Yes,
best
correct.
suited for
Yeah,
your
that's what I'm
for
gonna
your
say,
needs.
yeah.
So if you're asking me who my current team is, then it would be they are people that are experts in investing, and because they are the ones who can help you.
Yeah.
Whereas if, for example, if you have an accountant who doesn't know how to maximize your tax returns, then why would you go there?
Yeah.
Then go to someone who can. Yes,
Yeah.
you will pay more, but
Spot
at
on.
least you can be sure that you are
Yeah.
you are in the safest hand possible. If you have a broker who specializes in first home buyers, why would you go there if you want to buy your 10th house or your 8th house?
Yeah.
Then that's the wrong move. Then that's on you. That's your issue.
So I think people will be wondering, how would you transition from your full-time employment to basically retirement? Do you need to have like all the investment properties positively geared, or did you
Good question.
draw out equity so that you can live on it for a while? Or
Different people would teach you different things, and it's up to you what you choose to be your strategy.
teach me,
What
Sensei.
what works? Because So for you to use the passive income from the rental returns, you have to have everything paid off, which takes a long time.
Yep.
So I don't want to do that because I don't want to retire at 70. I wanted to retire in my 30s.
Yeah.
So use the capital gains. And so the moment the first property doubles, and it's enough to cover you for 6 or 7 years, then you can.
Yeah.
You can retire. Pero think of things like capital gains tax, inflation, factor that in. So I'll use an example. Let's say you are 35 now and you decided that you will buy 4 investment properties, and so let's say 500 for ease of calculation. Now the right property, go back to historical data, it doubles every 7 to 10 years.
7 10 years, yeah.
So don't question me, do your own research. So, and if you cannot find it, then you're lazy. Now, once you're 42, so let's say you bought the 4 because you have the deposit money. When you turn 42, it doesn't matter if all 4 of them doubled, as long as one of them grew enough that you can retire on the funds. Then you start selling. Let's say the first one did not double but went up to 900,000. So you remove the remaining. So you sell it, but you're no longer working, so your capital gains tax is lower because your active income is 0. So you remove the mortgage, the remaining mortgage, you factor in inflation, and you factor in the capital gains tax. So
can you give numbers? Like,
so let's say you're left with 600. So let's say 900,000. You sell it for 900,000. Your remaining loan over 7 years from now is 400. So you're left with 500,000. Capital gains tax, I don't know on top of my head, but let's say 80 plus you factor in inflation for 7 years. So let's say 50. So then you're left with 370 or something. Now, how long will that last you? Now, it depends on your lifestyle. If you go shopping a lot, then that's the problem. Then you'll have to extend your retirement age. But let's say you spend 50 a year. That's 1,000 a week. So that lasts you 7 years. But what if you put that money somewhere that earns you 2% or 3%? Then that lasts you a little bit over 8 years.
Extend it.
Now, in the meantime, the 3 remaining properties are growing for you. So let's say they doubled from 900,000 to 1. Let's say from 1 million to 2 million.
Yeah.
And then again, you factor in
Capital.
You remove the remaining loan. So let's say 300,000, so 1.7 capital gains tax and stamp duty. So but you get the capital gains discount and stuff like that. So let's say you have 1.2 in today's money.
this is just your second property, right?
So if you started spending 100,000 a year, 2,000 a week in today's money, then that lasts you 12 years.
Yes, it's still.
So from 42 to 49 plus 12, so to 61.
So you're
and
covered.
then you still have two
more.
properties. And then you sell the third one, and then you sell the fourth one, and then you're like in your 90s. And then you start using your super, and then you're dead. So
And you're not the queen. You're probably dead.
But you have something left to pass on.
if you wanted to, but what if but is there really any reason for you to work beyond 42? What people need to remember and some often overlook is the time component of the investment.
Of course.
You have to respect the time. So you cannot plant today and expect to harvest tomorrow. You have to wait for the season to go through. So for example, palay, you cannot plant one palay and then expect to harvest bukas. You're being silly.
Yeah.
At the same time, you cannot just plant one now and then wait 5 years and
and
then plant
expect it.
another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Diba? You plant as much as you can when you can.
You can.
That's
So
the
the time
I
is
guess
But
that's
until you can bend, you know.
yes, until you want to stop. So because for example, like using that scenario at 35, people will say, "Oh, I'll just invest one now and then one after 5 years and then one after 5 years." Then your fourth property, you're buying it at 3 times or 4 times more
Correct.
expensive than
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
one. So is that really the best strategy that you can come
Yeah.
up with? Why don't you do your sacrifices now and try to book them in one after the other
Yeah.
every year, as long as you're guided by the right broker, guided by the a financial planner, if you need to, then I don't think it will take you that long, and then it becomes a waiting game. But would you rather wait and then buy, or buy and wait?
That's right.
So which one would you want to be at? Or
Yeah.
people will say, "Oh, but what if the property prices go down?" Let's wait and see. Do you really want to be in the other side of that equation? So what if it does not happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
So
true.
yeah.
And if the property prices do go down, it still outweighs the growth. Still outweighs.
The trajectory is always up.
Yeah.
So this the downturn is like a small fraction of the time.
Yeah, usually it's just a
Usually.
correction, then it will bounce
Yeah.
up.
So and people keep on asking me that. It's almost always everyone will ask me that. What happened? I exaggerated. Oh, sige, tomorrow the property prices go down 50%. What would you do? Oh, nalugi ka ba? Kasi
No.
are you selling tomorrow? Then no.
No.
Either you buy more, continue with your long-term goals, 'di ba? It will not change. It should not
Correct.
change.
Yeah.
Kasi your desire to retire early is the only constant. The rest we are unknown. We don't know what will happen to interest
Yes.
rates. We don't know what will happen to
Yes.
prices. We don't know what will the politicians do. What we do know is retiring early is what we want to achieve. So then, property prices go down. What will happen to rent? No one wants to buy, so everyone is renting. So what will happen to
Yes.
rent prices?
Go up.
Then
Skyrocket.
now your rental yield becomes higher. Shouldn't you be celebrating?
Yeah.
Now what they will say is, but what if we cannot release equity? Then don't. Why would you release equity during the time? Do you wait for the properties
That's
to go
right.
back up? And if it doesn't, then it's really when you sell that you lock in your losses.
Yeah.
So then don't sell.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't be emotional.
But historically, right, in every market you look, whatever comes down will go up.
Yeah. It's economy.
Yeah,
So
It's the whole
part
economy.
of the cycle.
Yeah, then again, if you're fearful, then address that with information.
Yeah.
They go through the
Yeah.
historical data, go through other first world economies, and find a scenario where it's it stays low.
Correct.
Maybe Japan, but their demographics is
It's
very different.
different.
Yeah,
In Australia, how many are they in? They're increasing their immigration from 50 to 100. So
Yeah. 200,000.
they're what, quadrupling it?
I
Or
think they
doubling it?
increased 35,000.
So they will not bring in people who are in their 70s. They
Yeah.
will bring people who will be working for a long
Yeah.
time.
They need
plus
a roof.
their families.
Yeah.
So think,
Do the numbers, right?
yeah. So again, Japan is an exemption because they don't
Aging.
have an immigration
Yeah.
policy, and the population is aging. So is it really a fair comparison?
That's right. And they don't have big lands like Australia. I mean,
Their real estate is
real
different.
estate is different.
Yeah.
The definition of retirement is different. How much do we need, or is it based on your lifestyle?
So how much do we need to retire?
To retire, yeah.
Oh, it really depends on your lifestyle. And then have a buffer to allow for unforeseen circumstances. What all of a sudden you want to go shopping or you want to go on an extra holiday or you know, you really need to factor all of those in. I guess one of the things to remember as well is maybe know what material things can and cannot do for you, for your ego, for your like sense of self-worth. I'm not wearing rags, but I'm also I don't need to be brand conscious.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what's again, I guess it depends on what your values are. So
Correct.
it just so happens that my priority is to teach others because I want more people to be helped.
Correct.
So it just makes more sense to me to invest in people that will be helping others rather than another bag or another expensive pair of shoes. I have one pricey watch, that's it. But I did not even buy it. Victor did.
Oh.
And it's an investment.
I wouldn't call it. Some people would justify it, but I won't. I don't need to. I don't need to.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Having 13 properties, you don't need to.
So what can you tell to those people who are looking for education? Like, you know, I heard, you know, you can in out there you can ask someone and they're not really expert in that area. How do you advocate for, you know, proper investment?
How? That's a difficult question. Maybe if you ask a barber if you need a haircut, what will they say?
Yes.
I do.
Regardless
You need
of regardless of your situation, your hair situation, the chances are they will say yes because they want your business.
That's right.
So, are they the best person to ask? Do I need a haircut question? So again, then apply that elsewhere. Apply that to your financial strategies. If you want to learn financial education, then learn financial education through books, through
Correct.
asking people who have no vested interest, I suppose.
Ah, nice.
That's true.
Sorry, that was a very difficult question.
But
Tell us if you want to.
no, because you know, in life you will meet a lot of people, different walks of life and different agendas. And looking at you, you know, you're a person who doesn't have hidden agenda and doesn't want to be opportunistic, you know.
There are people who say that I am doing it because I want to sell properties to them. Victor works as a real estate agent because
he likes it.
Because he enjoys it. And his target audience is the Chinese community. They cannot fly here, so they buy online. But there are people who would there are people who would say that I do it because I want to make a sale. Then ask the people who I've spoken with. Do I answer their questions differently because they bought with Victor or they don't? Then you get your answer. So then again, because
It gets lonely when he retired, when he's the only one retired. That's what people around him to also be
He wants
retired.
all of us to be retired.
so
Young.
I don't I guess the key thing is you will know if a person is insincere or not. And if you don't, unfortunately you will go through the pains. But that pain is necessary so that you learn in the future. Then maybe always interview more than one or ask multiple people, why are you doing this? Or like for example, there will be agents who would be good at selling but they don't own any properties, or they own one but they would say, no, this is good, a good investment. Why are you the best person to teach me about investment? So have an inquisitive mind.
Yes.
And I guess with any advice, just get the meat of what would be appropriate for your circumstances, and then throw everything away.
How can we get some information if we wanna learn more besides going to the library? Like, are you available for?
Here's his number.
Alvin@gmail.com.
Oh, do you have like a social media channel or somewhere we can just follow your journey?
Now, because there are people out there who exist just quietly doing their own little way of investing. If you're just starting, you don't really need to speak to someone who has 10 properties. You just need to speak to someone who has 2.
Yeah, right.
And then let that person guide you. And then if you have 2, then it really depends on what your goals are. So, pero take it one bite at a time, diba? How do you eat an elephant? You don't go from 0 to 13 houses. I certainly didn't. In one sitting with one mentor.
That's right,
You grow. As you grow, then you will find the right teachers. You don't need to talk to me. You can talk to other people. They are around you. Just ask around. Just learn. If you're humble enough to ask, to know that you don't know these things.
Willing to learn.
Yeah, diba?
Throw your ego.
You have to.
Actually, that has to be thrown away, because otherwise, how can you learn if you know everything already?
Yeah.
Then you can't. You're not in a position to.
Very true.
Yeah.
So just ask people around you. But having said that, if you need help, these guys will be able to help you. Talk to your accountant to refer you to the right people. We have a little group on Facebook. It's a young retiree circle where we just share these information through other people's experience, learning from other people's experiences. Unfortunately, it's by invite only because we want to keep it small, and we want the right people to. We want people who we think will benefit best. Too. So if you haven't been invited, then ask around. Maybe you will.
You need a password.
another group exists.
No, it sounds arrogant, but it's purposeful. It's not a hobby. So it's quite intentional. So we only want people who are serious about it, so that because for me education is sacred. My grandma was a teacher,
Right.
so and
Wow.
it's really important that you go into a place not for entertainment purposes but to really learn. So ask tough questions. Like these guys, they are asking me really tough questions. I'm not backing down on them, but they are really tough. But it is a challenge, and it's for the purpose of education.
Yeah.
So,
What I like about that group is you don't sell anything. No one posts, where to buy, what to buy. It's just like sharing,
Info.
Like-minded people.
Yeah,
So-
experiences and nothing to sell.
yeah, and that's true education. If you're sponsored by if other people are there fishing for clients, then you are in the wrong group. Or you have to watch everything you say, or take everything with a grain of salt, because you will get there. If you have to make the mistake, then you will make the mistake. To learn.
And then
from
you'll
it.
learn.
Yeah.
But
One technical question.
yes.
Hope you're not prepared, but you're prepared. So if you're gonna choose with more, properties type, you already have most of them. So standalone house, apartments, townhouse, or whatever. What's in the list? What are you recommending?
So our current portfolio, we have standalone houses and townhouses for the land component of it.
Exactly.
But having said that, we still factor in the price. We don't go overpriced. Like our portfolio, we don't have anything above 550 because we still want it to be cash flow is still important.
Correct.
Otherwise, it will be a headache ongoing.
Yeah.
What we want is for them to pay for themselves, not us paying for it. Then that's not really
Investment.
retirement.
Yeah.
It's not really investment. Rich Dad's definition of an asset is is anything that puts money in your pocket.
Yeah.
A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. So, and the key to wealth is acquire assets and not liabilities.
Yes.
That's good.
Thank you.
And where is it for you 5 years from now? Because you have everything. Is there anything more that you would like to do in life?
I think I would be taking a more active role in the orphanage, in my volunteer work, instead of being a visiting volunteer. I would be more. I would be taking a more permanent role there. I think I would still be doing this. I would still be addressing people's questions, one couple or one person at a time.
Yep.
If there is still a need for me to do it, unless there's enough of you guys that will be able to do it on my behalf, then it frees me up to do the volunteering full time. But it's been 2 years since I retired and moving here, and it's gone so quickly. I think 5 years will go very fast as well. And that's basically your definition of being in the flow. And when you're in the flow, you don't have a concept of time. Because you're enjoying what you're doing. You feel like you're in that position where you are put in this world to be at. So that's your mission basically. That's if you want to determine what your mission is in life, then look for those little points of your life that time does not feel like it exists.
Yeah, good.
It's very difficult. It's in a self-authoring program by Jordan Peterson.
There you go.
You need to if you're looking for things to do after retirement, then I suggest you do that. It's very difficult, but very worth it.
That's good. Well, we can probably sit here and ask more questions
Until tomorrow.
But yeah, thank you so much, Alvin, for taking some time to answer our questions.
Very difficult.
Thank you for being brutally honest.
Yeah.
I just
Holding
want to
back.
mention my key learnings tonight.
Yeah.
So, number 1 is turn your adversaries into motivation and opportunities, and then never step, learning, being hungry all the time, and keeping learn and investing on yourself. And then the third is, like we
Have
said,
mentors,
surround you never stop with one property because you had a mentor before, and you still have a mentors, and you surround your people with like-minded people. And then the last one, which I just learned 5 minutes ago, which is to share this.
Yes.
Pass it on.
Pass it on, the knowledge you've learned and your experience. I think it's the wisdom. Pass on your wisdom.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just me. Wow. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I think especially the last part is if we pass it on to other people, then we leave this world better than what we found it as. And what higher purpose is there than that? Yeah. And thank you for having me. It's really good that what you do here is very amazing. You make a difference in people's lives, and like there will be someone out there who's watching this and will find a renewed strength in pursuing the knowledge that is needed to jumpstart whatever journey they have towards financial independence. And thank you for being instrumental in doing all that.
And thank you for always inspiring us, and you're a part of our success. We won't be where we are now without you, without your mentorship, and you keep inspiring us. Whether you like it or not.
Challenging.
the people that we interview is too humble, they don't take credit. But I think you need to hear it from us that we are where we are now. We are more, I guess, retirement ready soonish because of you, because of inspiring us, and because of equipping us with the knowledge. that
But
is
you did all the hard work. I just spoke.
And you pushed me.
I like talking,
Yeah,
and
no.
I especially if it helps. So, and let's just keep on helping others.
Yes, definitely.
Last final thing, what's your message to not just the Filipinos,
Yeah.
but everyone who's
Everyone
watching,
watching.
listening this?
Understand what it is that you want to do in life, and so that's goal setting. Number one is find your why. Why do you, why are you doing what you're doing, and then strategize. That's step number one is determining your goals, and then the second is strategize. So, and you will get the help that you need along the way. Maybe don't be lazy and go straight to finding the help. How can they help you if you do not know what your destination is?
Yeah.
So start with that, and the strategies will come after. And don't forget to pay it forward. Again, I keep on repeating it, but it's worth repeating. I think it's let's help others so that they can be of service as well.
Let's all retire together. Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
That is the main thing.
And this is Mr. Alvin Mascareñas. Thank you so much. And this is Taxmart Cafe Casey. We'll see you next week.
Next year.
Next year. Merry Christmas.